for Brett Harper Jennings.
Yeah!
And please welcome your next comedian, Lunas Menchaca.
Thank you for that. I needed that. Things have been rough. Last comedy stand-up I did, I was talking about their new initiative that they're wanting to push through to make me a felon. I mean, I've been joking for a while that my 40s were going to be my badass years. I want to be an alphabet mob boss. But, I did not have potential felon in my 40s on my bingo life card. But yeah, gender identity fraud is what they're trying to push through. And if they can prove that I have done so, up to 3 years in prison, $10,000 fine per instance. The good news is, I told an audience recently, that there will also be a number hotline that you can call in and potentially receive a $5,000 bounty. Raise your hand if you turn me in. And half the place was immediately, I got your attention now. So that makes me real safe feeling. Which, does wonders for my agoraphobia. I was a stay-at-home housewife for a lot of reasons, but one of them was I could not leave my house unless I had a very specific reason. And, it had to be, a life-threatening, I have to do this. Because I've had a bad luck in my life. I'm on, a lightning rod for rape. Yeah, it's happened to me, unfortunately I found out that I was fuckable at 6 and it just kept going from there. So, so there's that kind of keeps me from going outside because apparently when you get to anime-sized titties, you are public domain. And because, I have gone into establishments and people of all genders and all sizes just grab and grope. So, that's just been my personal lived experience. Your mileage may vary. So, add that, plus now we've got today's, run-of-the-mill things to worry about, mass shootings, general, homophobia, transphobia, racism, because, the queerer I got, the more obvious it became that I was Mexican. When I kept my skin lily white with no tattoos and my hair long and beautiful, I was able to pass as Little Miss Republican. But now they're there's no question. See, I'm loud. I don't need this.
Hell yeah.
Oh no, I've come to terms with the fact that the thing you're going to both love and hate about me is this mouth. Trying to fight my agoraphobia. I don't think people understand the level of complications it is for me to get up onto a stage and talk about things and try to be funny. There's just that alone. And now I have the idea of a literal bounty on my head. That's fun. That's real fun. Go after comic after comic after comic that tells jokes about, I beat my wife. Pedophilia. Murder. I'm okay, that's cool. Cool. Yeah, safe. Y'all are real awesome. Now I'm coming to terms with my gallows humor is pretty dark. I like to joke now that it's so dark it comes from beyond the grave. It comes from Texas. Texas, I unfortunately have been bred to love it because they really push that shit in public school. Love Texas.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to cherry pick my rebellious spirit and my loudness and my brashness and everything that they say is a Texas trait and use my powers for good and not evil. But that's hard in a country that fought 2 separate countries to keep slavery. They squatted in Mexico because they wanted slaves. And then they joined the Confederacy to fight the U.S. because they wanted slaves. They only gave up slaves because they were held up by Cannon Point. That's where Juneteenth comes from. I want to understand, how are they going to teach this public holiday with no talk of critical race thinking. How is that going to work? Is it like the Martin Luther King had a dream? The end. It was a pretty dream. It was peaceful. No. I'm ready. My partner is very scared. They're trans. They're more trans than me, we joke. You know, they're definitely more visibly. I can hide better. And they're really scared and they want to run, and I do too, but I'm running to the road. I want to go on tour. I want to try and use my voice, my loud ass, brash self, and use this power for good, not evil.
Hell yeah.
Because, you know, they keep saying, well, somebody's got to stand up. Why not a stand-up? So, I like to kid now that I'm a war comic. I was trying to describe a movie, and it was about a war photographer, journalist, Civil War. Highly recommend. It's a little hard to watch because it's set in the really early pre-future. But I jokingly said, yeah, war comic. And I was like, wait, no, I mean war photographer. And I was like, do I mean war comic? I think I do. So, ready to put it on. And Lunas Menchaca, you have a lovely evening.